Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another 5 best 5 worst, and this is probably the most requested one out of the entire series besides ColourPop. Today I'm going to be talking about, in my opinion, the 5 best and 5 worst from Shop Miss A. I used to make a lot of videos about Shop Miss A, and I've reviewed quite a few of their products on my channel, but it's been a long time since I've done a video about them. However, a lot of their products, like the sponges for example, are just kind of a part of my daily makeup routine that I forget to talk about because it's just so integrated. Shop Miss A is basically an online dollar store for makeup. They also have like socks and stuff on there too, but they're most well known for their makeup, which is pretty much all $1 per piece except for like the A2O Labs line, which can go up to like I think $10 or something. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be doing the 5 best and 5 worst from the like AOA Studio line, which is the Shop Miss A in-house line. They do also sell a bunch of other like dollar store makeup lines that you would see in a typical in-person dollar store, but their AOA Studio line is A, actually good, and B, is like the main stuff that they push on their website. So I want to do the 5 best and 5 worst from the AOA Studio line in particular. I found a lot of staples from the AOA Studio line that have genuinely made their way into my daily makeup routine, as well as a lot of duds. I think that's one of the pitfalls of having such a wide, extensive range of products as well as having everything be $1 is that there's a lot of hits and a lot of misses. The best products in this video are like really good, like genuinely worth more than $1 per piece. These are the products I feel like are on par with anything you could find at Ulta. And then the worst products are like the stuff that was actually bad. There's a lot of stuff in the middle that's just kind of like meh. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I've done another addition to the 5 best 5 worst series, so I'll have a playlist linked in the cards, I think? Yeah, I don't know. I highly doubt that I posted this on Instagram, but I'm wearing one of those Huda Beauty like liquid eyeshadow thingy duos on my eyeballs, and this is Kylie Cosmetics Kristen with the gloss I'll talk about later in the video. Anyways, grab a drink, hopefully one that's a little bit nicer than mine.
You're worthless.
And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, as always, we're going to start with the positives. Number 1 on the list, and this is by far my favorite thing that they offer, was very easy to pick out because I truly never shut up about it, but the Wonder Blenders.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
AOA Studio's Wonder Blenders, which are the beauty sponges, are my go-to beauty sponge for everything. I am glad to say I was never a fan of like actual original beauty blenders. So $20 on a piece of foam was never my game. But my go-to sponge, I believe, used to be the Real Technique sponge, which is still $7, and for something that you do replace, I probably go through beauty sponges every like 1 to 2 months or so. For something you have to replace pretty often, if you're doing makeup every day, that does add up pretty quickly. The Wonder Blenders are $1 each, so this is my current Wonder Blender. This is just the classic version. So these ones are $1, and then they do have the $1.88 versions, which are the Mochi Wonder Blenders. These are also awesome, so I'm just gonna hold this up because you don't need to see my dirty sponge. The Mochi ones are for the A+ line, so you'll see throughout the AOA Studio line, they also have, I believe, the A+ line and then the Pawpaw line, which goes to animal charities. The A+ line is for education charities. Anyways, if you want a very soft sponge, I would go for the Mochi ones, but if you're wanting basically like a perfect dupe of the original Beauty Blender, just go for the regular Wonder Blenders. They have them in a kind of beveled shape like this, as well as like the classic teardrop shape. They also offer this kind of curved shape as well, but personally I just prefer this kind. They also offer them in like a mini version if you want to use a smaller sponge for under eye concealer. They just have a lot of different options in the Wonder Blender line, and I think they're all good except for something we'll talk about later in the 5 worst. But yeah, I currently have like 3 Wonder Blenders on backup right now, and I order these every couple months. It's just something I can't not have in my collection. Highly recommend. Next up on the best list are the AOA Studio Foam Ink Lashes. I remember when these first came out because beforehand they only had these kind of like the classic lashes you would expect to find at a dollar store, honestly. Kind of fakey looking, very basic, like Ardell party pack lashes. They had a few okay styles and they were all $1 each, so I did still buy some of those, but I was very excited when they came out with the premium line. These are foaming lashes and they actually have like beautiful styles. So these 2 are my favorites. The Jackie ones are my personal favorite. These remind me a lot of the House of Lashes iconic lashes. They're pretty much the exact same length, really nice luxurious soft hairs. I can get around like 15 to 20 uses out of these lashes. I think the bands are pretty durable and just insane quality for I think $1.55 these are from the Pawpaw line as well, so the 55 cents goes to the Pawpaw charity. So the Jackie ones are my favorites. These look really good with both like neutral kind of softer glam eye looks as well as full-on colorful eye looks. I think they're one of the most versatile styles. And then the Melissa ones are a little bit shorter. I've been trying to not wear lashes as much to school. I never really wore them to work, but I did wear lashes pretty much every single day to class, and I've been trying to kind of wean myself off of that and be more happy with how my eyes look without lashes on. But when I was wearing lashes at school, these were my favorite. I feel like it's really hard to find lashes that aren't super long but still have a nice shape to them. I feel like most shorter lash options that aren't like a centimeter long, don't have the nice like natural crisscross hair effect or anything, and these are like my favorite style for that, as well as the alter ego lashes. And I believe they come out with a few more foam ink lash options as well, so I would definitely recommend these. Next up is something I have on my lips right now, and I buy these in bulk whenever I make an order just because I love giving these to people. They're just a fun gift, especially for like my Gen Zennial friends born in like the late 90s / early 2000s and like grew up with these types of lip glosses from Bath and Body Works and stuff. These are the AOA Studio Fruity Pop lip glosses, so these are exactly $1. They're basically just your classic clear glosses in a squeezy tube with a nice scent to them. So I'm wearing the strawberry ones right now. The reason I love these, not only do they taste amazing, so they have strawberry, cherry, I believe there's a pineapple one, mango, and they're all clear, so they all look the same. I think the flavors are good, but the reason I love this gloss so much is that it's so comfortable. So I'm wearing a lot of lip gloss right now, and I think with these types of squeezy tube glosses, it's hard to not get a ton of product when you apply them. But unlike those kind of nostalgic glosses from my childhood, these are not ridiculously goopy and sticky. I just feel like they're really comfortable. They're kind of like a thin formula, not quite as comfortable as a lip oil. So they do have the Oh Honey lip oils from AOA Studio. These are awesome as well. They almost made it into the 5 best. But if you're wanting just a really good, comfortable, cheap, clear gloss, these are amazing. So I always have these for like stocking stuffers, or just if somebody's feeling bad, I'm like, hey, lip gloss? These are amazing. I particularly love the red berry flavors. I just recently mentioned this mascara in an Instagram live, and so many people were like, I love that mascara. I love this too, and I think it's one of the most underrated formulas. This is the AOA Studio Fat Lash Mascara. There's also a matching Fat Lash primer. I don't think that you need the primer, honestly. I don't really notice that much of a difference when I'm using the primer versus when I'm not, but either way, it's $1, so if you want to buy it, whatever. This mascara is amazing, and I don't tend to like mascaras like this. The brush is one of those kind of plasticky, bristly brushes rather than a fluffier, which is personally what I prefer. However, I feel like this gives you a lot of length, and it's one of the few mascaras that doesn't smudge on my under eyes. I wouldn't say it's the most voluminous mascara, but I think if you apply a few coats of it, you can get a lot of volume, and because it's a kind of thinner formula, especially when you first get it, it's not clumpy, which I love. And then there's also a corresponding skinny lash mascara that's supposed to be for your bottom lashes. This I used to really enjoy, but honestly, I'm too lazy to break out 2 different tubes to apply my top and bottom lashes, so I've used the Fat Lash on my bottom lashes, and I think it still looks amazing and doesn't smudge too much. Okay, and then last up in the best section, we have the brushes. AOA Studio has a bunch of different like brush sets, all of which I think are really, really high quality and amazing. My personal favorite, especially if you're like just starting to build your kit, or if you want a really good set of eyeshadow brushes, Paw Paw brush set. It's all eyeshadow brushes. My big pet peeve is like when brush sets have a bunch of brushes that have a shape that's just non-functional and purposeless, but the Paw Paw brush set is like no wasted space. I think you get 10 brushes for $10.50 or something. The Paw Paw brush set and then the foam ink brush set, which has some like face brushes in it as well, are the softest brushes, but overall they use all synthetic hairs, which are really, really, really soft. This is a brush from the foam ink set, so really just good quality hairs. They don't shed a ton. They're honestly substantially better than Morphe brushes in my opinion, which honestly, Morphe brushes aren't that inexpensive. So yeah, my personal recommendation are the Paw Paw ones, or if you're wanting good face brushes, the luxury mix set. Moving into the 5 worst. Obviously you're bound to have a few misses within any makeup line. Again, with the variability and the amount of products that they offer, which they have a ton of products. It's almost like, no, it's not almost like ColourPop, but still they have a lot of options, so I think it's really easy to get overwhelmed because you have like 20 plus pages of results to kind of sift through. I would say the #1 worst product that I tried was the Wonder Cover Concealer. The Paw Paw line also has a concealer, which I think is pretty mediocre. In general, I think their complexion products are actually okay. So I tried the BB cream before. I think that was nice. Foundations from the A+ line are okay, but the concealer was one of the first products they ever released. All those newer releases, I think, get better progressively, but this concealer was like one of the OG products on the website. Honestly, it's one of those concealers I don't even think you could use as an eye primer. It was the driest formula I've ever tried. It dried down within seconds of me applying it. It was almost like a liquid lipstick. Really, really difficult to blend out. So honestly, the only way that you could use it would be to like apply it and then really, really quickly blend out one eye and then speed to blend it out. And even then it would sometimes still get really hard to move around. Once you blended it out, it's not like it looked really good on the under eyes anyways. I just did not like how that one sat on the skin, or like failed to sit on the skin. I think it's just like kind of tempting to see like a $1 concealer and be like, why not? Like, why not just add it to my cart? But things do add up on the website, especially if you're buying a lot of things. I also really did not enjoy the AOA Studio primers. They had a line of different primers that supposedly were supposed to target different things. So they had like a blurring primer, a tone correcting primer, I think there was like a smoothing primer, a gold flake primer, which I have no idea what it was supposed to do, but I think it was kind of targeted towards the people who wanted a dupe of the Farsali rose gold thing. All those primers were pretty much the same for me in that they all did nothing to the skin. It was pretty much just like applying an extra layer of like very thin water that just vaporized anyways. I didn't feel like I saw any smoothing with the smoothing primer, even though it was kind of like a silicone texture, so I felt like it would work. It didn't really do anything. I didn't see any prolonged wear of my makeup, but also granted I didn't see my makeup looking worse throughout the day. Honestly, the main thing was that it just didn't do anything. I think they've come out with newer primers that have gotten a lot of good reviews, but the old primers, yeah, no. I mentioned earlier that there's an exception to the All the Wonder Blender slap rule, and that is microfiber sponges. We all know how I feel about the Juno & Co sponge and that it's garbage, but the first microfiber sponge I ever tried was actually from the AOA Studio line. So I believe the Juno & Co sponge kind of blew up around like fall 2018, and then winter 2018 they came out with microfiber Wonder Blender sponges, so I was very excited. That shit was dense. That shit was chunky. Microfiber sponges in general tend to be a little bit stiffer and like less soft than a regular sponge would be, but those were like rock hard. Even when you got them wet, it still felt like you were bouncing something pretty tough on your face. It also did not blend out my foundation. Microfiber sponges, like the whole draw of them is that they're supposed to give you more coverage and not absorb as much product, but personally for me, I use a sponge so that it absorbs product and distributes it around in a way that looks even. The microfiber Wonder Blender just kind of smudged around the foundation, didn't really push it into the skin, and it just looked like garbage. Also, the microfiber sponges hold a lot of moisture in them and don't dry out very easily, so it molded within like a month. Overall, not a good time. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. Number 4 on the hit list are the liquid lipsticks, and these came out around the time that liquid lipsticks were just at their peaks. Right now I'm wearing the liquid lipsticks that started it all, so I'm wearing the Kylie Cosmetics 20, and this is what started like the matte liquid lipstick craze. So most brands were coming out with their own iteration of a matte liquid lipstick, and most brands weren't doing a great job, but I was excited about these ones, especially because they're $1 each, and they had some really fun shades as well. You don't see like blue liquid lipsticks and green and purple very often, especially not for $1, so I was very excited about this liquid lipstick line. Kind of like the concealers. They were just like paint. They had kind of a patchy formula, especially with the darker shades. So like the blues and the purples and the dark reds. Really not good. The lighter shades were okay, but still very drying. So did not vibe with the liquid lipsticks. I would say their regular bullet lipsticks are actually pretty okay. Even though the colors seem like fun and like tempting, I just don't think it's worth it. And then last, and honestly kind of least, the loose powders. No. They have a couple different loose powders. They have like a banana version, they have a translucent one, and then they also have a translucent matte one that they had to come out with later on because the translucent version had glitter in it. Yeah! It was a white, like pure white powder. Honestly kind of felt like cornstarch. Very starchy formula, lots of flashback, but I'm not being photographed by flash photography very often, so I don't tend to care about flashback that much. However, I do care about having glitter in a loose powder. So later on they did come out with a matte version without the glitter flakes in it, but it was still like not the best powder, honestly. It feels like cornstarch that you're putting on your face, but like the fact that there was glitter in the loose powder sends me, so yeah. Alright. I believe that's it. So that was the 5 best and 5 worst of Shop Miss A. Overall, I would say that their newer releases are pretty good. There's a lot of things that kind of fall into the middle for me in terms of quality, but their brushes are amazing, their lashes are amazing, the glosses are amazing. I've recommended the sponges to pretty much every person ever on earth, and the ingredients in the AOA Studio line. So I don't know about the other like brands that they host on the website, but the AOA Studio line is made with like actual good normal ingredients, and I do trust the quality of the products from the in-house line. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to know what you'd like to see next in terms of next brand, maybe like a next just general thing, because I did 5 best 5 worst of luxury makeup, which wasn't a singular brand, but it was just kind of like a umbrella concept. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed down below, follow me on Instagram, and if you made it to the very end of this video, you get the bonus meme. Love you.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow.